Hi friends, my name is Megan, and welcome back to my channel, The Crafty Quinn. Today I have a really fun collaboration for you with DIY Beauty on Purpose. We challenge each other to do porch and outdoor decor DIYs and then share how we styled them. So more about that in a little bit, but let's start crafting. So first up, I have this wood piece that I got on clearance from Hobby Lobby, and I was just shaking the dust from my little finger sander, but I'm currently taking my finger sander and I'm going with the grain to sand this down. I want to remove the top layer of this protective coating. I'm not sure what it was that was on top of this, and I just want to make sure that's gone so that my stain soaks in really well, because I am staining this a gray color, which you will see in a little bit, and I'm so excited to show you it because I'm obsessed with this color. And I loved how it just soaked into this and just completely changed the feel of this water pitcher, water bucket, whatever you want to call it, for a flower water. I'm not really sure what to call it. I never know what to call this. But I had you guys guess what this was in my community tab, and you guys guessed right. That's exactly what it was. So now you get to see the final product. So I did leave a little natural, not in the wood show through. I want this to look as natural as possible and really give it a farmhouse rustic feel. So after I have it completely stained and then dried, I am taking this raffia and I doubled it up to make it look like a bow. And I did wrap some raffia around that just to cinch it, but I'm not going to cinch all of it with it. I'm going to layer this one by one, and you'll see what I mean by that in a little bit. But it's really, really fun to just layer the pieces up, and I've seen a lot of DIYers do this, and I think it's so cute. But I feel like using all different kinds of elements and using this little farmhouse ribbon is gonna give it exactly the look that I'm going for. So all of these materials here, all of the ribbons, the raffia, all of that was from Dollar Tree. So I am taking the Dollar Tree farmhouse ribbon, and when I say farmhouse, it really is. I mean, it's got farm animals on this. This ribbon is so cute, and I can't find it at Dollar Tree anymore. I don't know why. But anyway, I am just hot gluing all of these down one by one. I'm just going to make those ribbon pieces go diagonally. And that was a burlap ribbon piece that I used there first. I did cut into it a little bit so you can see the edges. They're just a little, I'm not sure what to call it. But so now I'm just laying that on top, and then my raffia is gonna go right on top of that. So I'm just evening things out because I have a little bit of OCD and I have to make sure that everything looks perfect with my sassy hand flap there. Now I'm just hot gluing that down, and soon it will be complete. I'm just going to add one more finishing touch, which you will see in any second now. And now I'm adding on this bow, and that is the finishing touch for this part. I think it's so cute when you can add a little button on top of things. I feel like it really does give it more of a rustic feel. So now I'm just taking my chippy brush and my white Waverly chalk paint, and I'm just distressing the edges of it. And a lot of it was out of frame, I apologize. So there's not that much of me distressing in this video. I know a lot of folks like to watch that, so I apologize. But I'm just taking a thin layer around the edges and then on the actual water pitcher itself. So now you can see all of the distressing is done. And now I just felt like something needed to be at the top. This definitely needed something more. So I'm adding the Walmart lavender to the very top of this. And these were the 97-cent Walmart florals. And you just never know what you're gonna find every time you go back to Walmart. I feel like it changes almost every week what is considered 99 cents in that section. I feel like I never find the same thing twice. So when I found this, I definitely grabbed a bunch of it. So just hot gluing that down, using my mask applicator to push this down so I don't burn my finger like I normally do. Try to use something else when you can. Minimize those burns, people. So now I'm just taking this Dollar Tree twine, and I'm going to make a new handle for it there was no longer, I guess, well, there was like 2 little metal pieces that were there, and I'm just making a new handle for it. I didn't want to use what was already there, and I'm actually glad that this was on clearance as just the wood piece, because when I went back to Hobby Lobby today, I noticed the original one that is not on clearance actually has metal flowers coming out of it, and I wasn't a big fan of that. So by this not having that and being reduced, they actually did me a huge favor. And then I got to style it more to my liking. So I'm just tying a knot. I'm just tying the twine to each hook there, and then once that is secured, this is the final product. And I currently have this hanging on my door, and I'm going to show you the full look of how this looks and the other decor pieces I have on my porch in a little bit. But I have to say, I really love how this turned out, and you can see a little piece of the picture is missing there, and that's also why it was reduced. It was definitely broken in more than one place, but I think it gives it a lot of character. So like I said, today is a collaboration with Leonette from DIY Beauty on Purpose, and besides a sparkling personality, she really does it all. DIY home decor, thrift store flips, Dollar Tree DIYs, DIY furniture makeovers, and that's not all. So please go check out her channel. I've linked it down in the description below. Go show her some love, and be sure to tell her that I sent you. And now back to the crafts. So next up, I have this tray from Home Depot. I've actually had this since last year. As you can see, it's painted, but back before I was really crafting and knew anything about sanding, I never actually properly sanded it down before I spray painted it. So I just sanded down those really rough parts, and I'm really glad I got to do this now and just make this tray more of, I guess, my vision. Before I was just kind of doing it quickly, and it was mostly for show and for s'mores, if I'm being honest, with our bonfire. But I painted this white with the white Waverly chalk paint, and I just did a thin layer. It didn't need to be robust. And I'm just now taking this twine and I'm wrapping it around the handle, and I'm going to do that to each side. And I'm trying to give it a real rustic farmhouse look, and you'll see how it becomes this in a little bit. But really my vision for this was I just see the word farmhouse on it. I just see it being distressed, and you'll see all of that in a little bit. But I am really glad that I'm actually taking the time to redo this tray, because I feel like this is going to be a super cute outdoor piece. So I just hot glued the twine down, and now I'm taking this Farm Fresh that I was talking about, Farmhouse Farm Fresh stencil, and I got this from Hobby Lobby, and I'm taking this masking tape, and I'm using masking tape to secure it. And I like to use masking tape for stencils because when you peel it up, it doesn't normally peel the paint underneath if you're, trying to stencil on top of paint. And so I feel like that is perfect material to hold down a stencil. But with a huge stencil like this, it was moving a lot, way more than I intended. So the stenciling didn't come out perfect, even though I was super gentle with a sponge brush, just dabbing it. I wasn't going crazy. I wasn't like trying to paint with it. I was definitely dabbing it, and that was definitely advice I had gotten before from subscribers, and it was definitely helpful. But I think the stencil in this one was moving too much, and you'll see what I mean in a little bit. It definitely came out really clumpy in this one weird part, and you couldn't see the letters at all. So I ended up painting over that, and so you'll see it there, and then I painted over that, so you don't have to worry about that. So now I'm just giving the bottom of the tray a coat of paint, because I didn't do that yet. That was definitely one of the last steps because I was focused on just getting the rest of it situated. Now I'm using my heat gun, which I've really gotten into lately. It has been a lifesaver. So this brand, I went ahead and linked this down for you in the description of my video, so check it out if you're in the market for one. So now I'm taking these metal corner edges that I just got from Hobby Lobby, and each one, well, there's about 6 nails that need to go in each one, so it's definitely a little tedious, but the end result is very much worth it because it really gives it that rustic feel. And yes, you are going to need a hammer for this, so I was using some tools. And I feel like you guys don't really see me doing things like this, but this was really, really fun for me. So I know I normally do Dollar Tree DIYs, but I felt like I needed to do some thrift flips for this one, and you'll see that too. And I just really wanted to do that in honor of this being a collab with DIY Beauty on Purpose, because I know she does that a lot. So I am now taking my antique wax and my chippy brush, and I'm distressing the sides of this, and you'll see this turn into a rustic tray very shortly. So I'm just trying to catch the edges of it. As you can see there, the edges of it are sticking nicely. And then I just did a few swipes over there on top of the stencil. And this is how I would style it. This is my backyard. I'm not going to show you much more of this because it's really dirty and it needs a makeover again, like it does every summer. So this is just a small preview of how I would style it in our backyard in front of our couch with our buffalo check pillows that I love, because I love buffalo check. So guys, if you're new to my channel, I'm Megan and this is Marcus, the Crafty Kitty. I love to make Dollar Tree DIYs and home decor on a budget that looks high end, so please make sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and select all for notifications using the bell button. Thank you. Okay, now back to the crafts. So this is a Dollar Tree DIY, and I don't have a ton of them in this video. Like I said, this is one of Dollar Tree's relax signs. And I mean, I think it's pretty cute on its own, so I'm not going to do a whole lot to it, but I felt like this is something perfect that could go in my tray. So now I'm just taking my chippy brush with my antique wax on it, and it's antique Waverly wax that I'm using. And I'm just trying to catch the edges of it, and that will give it the distressed look that I'm going for. And now I'm just taking one of these Hobby Lobby burlap flowers, and I'm putting that on top of the letter A. And I feel like you can definitely still understand what the word is, even though that is on top of one of the letters. But I just felt like it was perfect to go on my tray. So I have to say, I really like how this turned out. And this little milk jug from Hobby Lobby was also on sale. They're having a big sale right now, so definitely go check it out. And that is how it would look in my backyard if I'm having a relaxing evening. So this is a thrifted item, and I got it from a local thrift store. I'm not exactly sure what this is supposed to be, but I just loved the shape of it, because I felt like if you just gave this a coat of paint, it would just become way more modern. And apparently this was a $25 item from Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't understand why, but to each their own. And so I'm just giving this a coat of black, it's called ink, Waverly chalk paint, and you'll see in a little bit, but I had to go over this quite a few times, needed a lot of paint. But like I said, with one coat of paint, it already looks way more modern. So just using my heat gun again, because now I'm pretty much obsessed with that. And I'm actually taking some newspaper, and I'm going to put that in the bottom of this, because this is an outdoor piece and it is going to go underneath our awning. And I'm not too worried about water going in it, but I did drill holes on the bottom of this, because if any water does get in there, at least it has holes to come through. So I'm now taking these faux greens, and I didn't want to use flower foam for this because, like I said, this is going to be outdoors, and I didn't want to use my flower foam for this. I want to save that, my flower foam. I want to save that for other indoor projects, and I was worried about that being outside. So newspaper it is. But like I said, to each their own. Definitely do what you want to do. I'm just taking these faux greens, and I am using Dollar Tree moss. I'm using the Dollar Tree moss that I don't really care about too much, because that can be outside, that's fine. And I ended up not going with these greens. I had this from another project, and I wanted to see how they would look, but I ended up not going with those, and you'll see what I did choose in a little bit. I'm taking these Dollar Tree coasters now, And this is going to be what my plant is going to stand on outside. Well, my plant stand. So now I'm just taking some Dollar Tree twine and I'm just coming down about a few inches down, and I'm kind of starting in the corner at the very top on one side, going down a few inches on the other side, and just kind of doing that a couple times to give it this funky modern farmhouse look. So this is what it looks like when it's all done, and I ended up using boxwood. I used 2 different kinds, some more faded, some more bright and vibrant. So I don't have a huge porch, so I'm just working with what I got here, and this is how I have it styled. This is my front door. You can see our house a little bit. It's a very old 80s house, so I'm just trying to do some things that I can to really give this a modern look. And then here is the relax sign in our backyard. And just looking at this, I just want to go sit out there right now and have a relaxing evening. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's DIYs, and if you did, please leave a comment below with a black heart emoji. So if you want to watch more videos, check them out here on the left, and let's keep in touch on Instagram, and please make sure to tune in next week for my next video. Thank you.